Come yarn shopping with us and build your confidence in picking the right yarn for your projects. In this video, we're walking you through how to choose yarn and calculate yardage using the Dip the Tip socks as an example. From the Knit This book by Veronika Lindberg, a gorgeous collection featuring 21 everyday knits you'll actually wear, available at www.theknittingloft.ca. We chose this sock pattern because it's cute, creative, and perfect for color play, but the yarn selection can seem a little tricky at first. So starting with size, this is a one-size sock pattern meant to fit European sizes 37 to 39. Then the information page goes on to share the yarn and quantities used. We see there are 3 color sections. And while some patterns will break more of the information down for you, some will require a little more knowledge or work on our end to get started. So here's the simple breakdown. And when we read each of those sections, we can see 2 yarns are held together in each section. With a simple Google search, we can easily find that all of the yarns listed are a fingering weight. And just below the yarn list, we have a note from the designer that says one color will be held throughout the whole sock in each section and paired with a different color. Written in another way, the yarn list could look like this. You may use a single strand of DK if you prefer it. We're going to stick with 2 fingering strands so we can play with custom color marling, and that's where the fun begins. Now we'll want to calculate how much yarn we need before we start shopping. Bear with me, I promise this is easier than it sounds, and that's coming from someone who is truly terrible at math. So using the weight and yardage of the listed yarns, we will calculate the required length for each section. The second main color that will be held for the body is 40 grams of our weta. Here, we simply need to take the full 230 yards of our weta, divide it by 50 grams in order to determine how many yards are in each gram. For CC1, the cuff and toe, we need 20 grams of hedgehog fibers. So the information given to us here is that a full skein is 100 grams, which is 400 yards. Finally, CC2 for the heel equals 10 grams of our weta. And as we previously determined, that's 4.6 yards per gram. Some patterns, again, are going to give this information already broken down for you. But we wanted to use a bit trickier of a pattern to help you so that you can independently figure out what quantities you need for your project. Since there are so many options when it comes to yarn selection, it's helpful to set your project goals so that you don't get overwhelmed. If these socks are just for lounging or showing off at your next knit night, you can go wild with fiber. But if you want to wear them regularly and comfortably go out and about, fiber does matter. If you're unfamiliar with our catalog, you can always contact our yarn concierge for personalized yarn support. For this video, we're going to go with Lang Jawoll, perfect for socks and available in loads of color options. We recommend picking the body colors first because this will tie everything together. You can go low contrast and subtle or bold and graphic. It's totally up to you. Once that's picked, choose your contrast colors to either blend in beautifully or pop with intention. Lang Jawoll comes in skeins of 230 yards, which means we need only 1 skein per color, which equals 4 skeins total. Have questions on this tutorial or other areas of knitting and crocheting? Drop them in the comments to help us pick our next tutorial topic, and feel free to get in touch with our customer yarn concierge.